It's already time for Best in Beauty again, woohoo! And I have favorites for face, for eyes, for lips. I mean, I don't know how I came up with this many, but I've got a lot of things to talk about. First thing though, I want to make sure you know that I'm gonna be at IMATS in New York 1 week from today. I can't believe it. I've never been to IMATS before. I am so super excited to go. I hope I can meet a lot of you. I hope I can just be surrounded by makeup and just be in heaven. Tyler will be there too. If you see like a really tall 6'6" blonde guy, just look down and I'm probably near him. I think it's just going to be incredibly fun. Those tickets were my birthday gift back in December, so yay! It's happening! It's happening soon. I'll make sure to tweet and Facebook specifically about, you know, where we are. If we're going anywhere else during our time in New York, you know, I'll let you know and maybe we can meet up other places too, but I'll just, you know, kind of to be determined on some of that other stuff. But I will definitely be at IMATS on Saturday and Sunday 1 week from today. Okay, now for the Best in Beauty stuff. I'm going to start out and talk about a great mascara. I have not been this excited about a mascara probably since Almay Get Up and Grow, and this is like rivaling that one, and I can't believe it. I liked this one as soon as I used it. I've been using it for weeks and I continue to like it. It's the Essence I Love Extreme, or I Heart Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. I tried this mascara just on a whim thinking, ooh, crazy volume. Let's see, you know, how this is gonna fail me. And because normally, you know, things that make big claims just don't quite stack up. But this one, ooh, I really like it. It's kind of a large brush, it's rubber bristles, it's got little bristles, very little bristles at the very tip. I just think it's a great formula. It's not too wet. It builds upon itself really nicely. It gives me great length. If I decide to go without false lashes, this is probably the one I'm going to be reaching for most likely, just because of the, you know, the drama it can give small lashes. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So, yeah, it says mascara for extreme and crazy volume. I don't know if it's crazy, but it's pretty extreme, I would say. Ophthalmologically tested, blah blah blah. Oh, that's a different language. That's why I can't read that. Anyways, this is really good stuff. There is one small downfall to this, and a couple times I've worn it, and I feel obligated to admit this to you because you know it's always honest here, but a couple times when I wore this, I noticed a few little flakes. Nothing I couldn't just sweep right off. It was not smudges, it was not smearing, but it was like a couple of minuscule flakes, you know, like I check in the mirror or check in the rear view or something and I'm driving, I'm like, ooh, I didn't like that. But it hasn't happened every time I've worn it, and I don't know if those were just days I happened to, you know, mess with my eyelashes or do something, but I had just a few flakes. So it hasn't been quite a consistent problem, but I would say it's been an occasional thing. I'm still wearing it. It has not deterred me from this mascara, so next time you're at Ulta or you're checking the Ulta website, look for the giant pink tube. I think you're really gonna like it. While we're on eyes, a great eyeliner also is the Milani Ultra Fine Liquid Eyeliner. I've been using this all the time in the black vinyl shade. And don't be misled, that does not mean this is metallic or shiny in any way. It dries to a perfectly dark matte black, and I don't really like shimmery, you know, shimmery black liners, things that can kind of catch the light and then make your eyeliner look uneven. That's sometimes what I think when I see that happen. But this is just a kind of traditional seeming liquid eyeliner, but the real bonus to this is that this is totally waterproof. Like, this claims to be waterproof, and it is. If you saw the review on my blog, this one is waterproof. The one called Black Gems is waterproof. The purple one is waterproof, but there are two blues in this line, kind of one's more blue and one's more like turquoise greenish, and they got wet and just ran. Like, I did a little test on my hand. I've got pictures and everything on the blog to show you, but I mean, some were clearly not waterproof. So that's my little pet peeve on that waterproof claim. It's like, were these tested? Because in a very, you know, simple fashion, I was able to see what was waterproof and what wasn't. But you can rub on this. I mean, I think This is a good one to try for people who have issues with like the eyeliner transferring up onto, you know, the crease area and stuff like that. I would really give this a try. I mean, it seems just very hardcore. It's just what you want in a black liquid liner. Some favorite lip products, and this is so funny because as I figure out things that I'm going to include in this video as the month goes along, I kind of set them aside, and every lip product that I set aside was in the same color family of pink, but it's like one was sheer, one's medium, and one's like very full-on color. And I thought that was so funny. I was like, wow, these are all the exact same color family. So I'm going to start with the sheer one, and that's what I'm wearing today, and it is the Baby Lips. It's one of the limited edition shades, and the shade is Melon Mania. Oh, love this feeling. I'm a big fan of the Baby Lips anyway, but this is just a nice sheer pink color. This is what you want to put on when you don't want to think about it. You know, you don't want to pick up a mirror. It's right there. It's like hardly visible, but when it comes in contact with the little bit of pigment you might have in your lip, it shows up kind of like that. And so I like it. Smells like a Jolly Rancher. I think that's just fantastic. My other thing that I'm enjoying and have been for some time, the Neutrogena Moisture Smooth Color Stick. This shade, the Sweet Watermelon, is a really nice pink. I raved about this in the Emily Awards, but you know, this is going to be just a little bit more pink than the other one. Actually, quite a bit more pink. It's pigmented, it's fruity. I describe this scent as right after you open the Jell-O packet and you haven't yet mixed it up and it's all that concentrated like sugary sweetness, fruity, that's what that smells like. So we've got your sheer, your medium, then the pink that is just a true lipstick, full-on color. This whole line of lipsticks is about color, 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 and it's the Milani Color Statement in Fruit Punch. I have mentioned this before, still wearing it, still enjoying it. There we see it right here. So sheer, medium, and kapow! Yeah, it's really full-on color. I have swatches of all of the Color Statement lipsticks on the face, on the blog. They're just very impressive lipsticks. That not every one of them I'm in love with, but something I can assure you with all of them is that the color is very saturated and rich. Fruit Punch is just that real pinky, true pink shade that's not bordering on purple, not a fuchsia pink, but just real pink. And I like that a lot. Next, I have a foundation pick, and some people were asking me, I feel like I've gotten this question multiple times lately. What's a good foundation that is long wearing, full coverage, but works for dry skin? Because a lot of those really good long wearing foundations, you know, they might be real suitable for oily skin, but they can be just show up a little too cakey on skin that's already kind of dry. And so my recommendation that I've made several times, and I wanted to make it in this video as well, is the Tarte Maracuja Miracle Foundation. I've reviewed this before. It came within a kit when I got it. You can of course buy it individually too. My shade is light. These do run a little bit dark, just so you know on the shades, but this is a really interesting foundation in that the coverage is good and it is buildable. So in other words, if you've got some problem areas, you can go back and add a little more without it looking, you know, too heavy or too much. The staying power is really great, and most of all, if you've got dry areas, it doesn't cling to those areas and make them stand out. Like for me, I might have an oily T-zone, and this doesn't make me crazy, you know, much oilier or more oily in those areas, but I am kind of dry between my eyebrows and I'm kind of dry around my mouth. And so this doesn't, it kind of like balances things out. It's a little bit hard to explain for people who want the coverage, want the staying power, but have drier skin. I think this might be really nice. If you want to experiment with this and you've got more oily skin, I would just say make sure you're setting it with a powder, and it can still work for you. I mean, it has a beautiful finish on the skin. It's very fresh. I won't call it dewy. It doesn't have any shimmer in it either, but it's just a very fresh, like kind of real skin look. So I definitely like that foundation. Also, this little palette, if you saw my palette pics, sorry about my chipped off nail, by the way, but I did a video on like great multitasking palettes for travel, things that can do more than one thing basically. And this one, another Tarte thing, I don't want to put you on Tarte overload, but let's face it, these are my favorites right now. And this is a great little palette here from Tarte. It gives you two blushes. One is Exposed. I'm not sure what this other color is. I think it's a limited edition shade, but I'm wearing them both. I like to wear Exposed just a little bit lower almost near the hollow of the cheek and put the brighter shade a little bit more around the apple, but all the shadows are super wearable as well. I mean, these are like shades I would wear all the time. And today, like I'm wearing the bronzy shade, a little bit of plum and brown in the outer corner, popped it with some brighter liner that I'll talk about in a second. Even this shade right here, where you're thinking maybe that's kind of a boring shade. No, that totally helps you blend out any of the darker stuff. It's great. So you've got, you know, a couple shades that are a little bit matte and satin, and then a couple, quite a few others, 4 others that are shimmering. It's extremely handy. I like the blushes just as much as I like the shadows. Like, I'm not sure which part of this palette I like the best. The shadows are very easy to work with, easy to blend, and I've been using this a lot. Finally, this is the rediscovered favorite. This is the thing that I haven't been using enough of lately. I kind of forgot that I even had them, and I plan to be using them a lot more as time goes on, and they are the NYX slide-on liners. I've talked about these as being kind of a dupe for the Urban Decay 24/7 pencils. They just perform like them, they feel like those pencils, they last like those pencils do. I mean, really, you can, I've got my swatches of the ones I'm going to talk about here, you can rub right over them, they don't go anywhere. They're much cheaper and still come in a really wide variety of colors, and what I'm going to try doing to work more color into my eye makeup is use liners and use them kind of like this. This is a very easy spot to do like that pop of color. So I'm wearing this azure shade right there, you know, kind of a fun turquoise teal. I think it looks great alongside bronze. Another shade that I really like is this sunrise blue. That's more of a true like royal blue, a little bit deeper, but still would be a very pretty kind of finishing touch on an eye look. And also something for the pop of color, I might use it in the same way I did this, but in, you know, with a different look, is glitzy gold. It's really a fun gold color, and I've got those 3 swatched here, but they're so ultra creamy, and you do have a little time to smudge them out, but once they set, and you can rub over those, and you know, they don't go anywhere. And just like I talked about this liquid liner earlier, you know, everything has its place. I will use liquid liner quite often on my upper lash line, but I might go for a pencil or a smudgy color or something like that, more likely on the lower lash line, or you could layer the two. But you know, everybody needs kind of a variety of liners, I think, and I'm gonna be trying to play with some more fun ones here in the near future. So I think that pretty much wraps up my Best in Beauty video. Again, I can't wait to see and meet any of you who are planning to go to IMATS in New York City. Not that this is going to be my last video that I post until that time, but I just wanted to give you a heads up if you're making plans. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope everyone has a great Easter. Bye. Let's talk about at the end. There is, you can't go though, and then